In this video, we will see in IntelliJ IDE for Java coding how we will do the debugging and what are the debugging features we have. I will start from the basics. So, first of all, we have breakpoints. Now there are multiple type of breakpoints. Like very common, we have our line breakpoints. So line breakpoints we put by clicking here like this. Whenever we put line breakpoint, we can and we run the code in debug mode, then we can pause the flow of code in that breakpoint. I will show you. Like if we click here in debug mode, we see that okay, the progress of our code, the flow of our code is paused here, this highlighted line, and we can see like debug tab opened here. So I will go to some of the buttons that what we have here. So firstly, like we have here the resume button. So like in our code, if we have multiple breakpoints, let's say I have two breakpoints here. So if I want to move to the next breakpoint, then I will click resume. Like I click here, you see that from line number 16, the flow has come to line number 18. So this is the resume button. Now if we come down here, we have stop debugger. If I stop it, whole like this pausing will stop and we will see the output in console. So here we see that there are two tabs, one is debugger, one in console. So in console we will see the output. If we want to rerun it again, let's say I will put another line breakpoint here, we can click here to rerun. So firstly, like the code has paused here. So we have seen what is line debug. Now we have step over. Okay, so let's say like we have breakpoints in these three line, but I need to go line by line that how my execution is going. So here we have one button that is called step over. So if we click here, now my execution flow will pause at each line. You can see that it at each line it stop. I will, let's say I will rerun it. I will remove this breakpoint from here. From this button I will rerun. So my current execution is paused here. Now if I use the step over, line by line my code is going to execute. Okay, now another is resume that I already told. This is the resume button. Stop debugging, we have this button, and mute and unmute debugging buttons. This is used like if we have a very big code where we have like multiple debug points that are we have put, but we don't want to click again and again to unmute them, and again when we are testing we want to put this breakpoint again. So we can mute and unmute from here. Here we have a button called mute breakpoint. If we click it, you see that those breakpoints will be there, but when I rerun it, you will see that directly we come to console. It was paused nowhere. Now if I click it again, all the debug points will come here, and now if I run again, you will see the flow has paused. So this is the like these are some of the general buttons, and this is the console where we see the output. If I stop the debugging, you will see the output will come here. Now moving forward, okay, so now we will see demo of like step into button and step out button. Now let's say like this is a main function, and from here I am calling a function calculate average. If I have a breakpoint here, okay, now I will, for this hello world, I will close this code. I will remove the breakpoints from here as they are of no use. Like it will just create confusion. So if we have one breakpoint here, and now if I run it in debug mode, now code execution has paused here. Okay, now if I want to go in this function without putting the breakpoint, we can use this button called step into. Step into means I want to step into this function. So if I click here, you see in the first line of function our code execution has paused. Now if I want to go line by line, I can click step over one line, step over. Now if I want that, no, I don't want to see all the lines, I want my control back to my main function, then I can put there is a button called step out. I can click this and I can, you see from this function we came back to this line. And now if I go to step over the next line, and now the execution will end and we can see the output in console. So these are the two buttons that I will show it again. Debug. This is the button. This is step into if we want to go inside a function, and this is step out if we want to come out of that function. We want the control to come back to the main function. I will deselect this and go to next point. Okay. Now third point we will see, it's smart step into and run to cursor. Okay. Now smart step into is used when like there can be a scenario where like in a single line we have multiple functions or methods calling like concatenated multiple methods, and we want to go inside step into only one particular function. Then how we will do that, that we will demonstrate with smart step, and run to cursor I will come later. Okay, so let's come to this line number 69. Here we see that we have multiple functions like person list dot get, then get name, then get age. Okay, but I don't want to go inside every function. If I click on step into, it will go to inside the first function, then it will go inside second function, then third function. What if I directly want to go inside get name? How will I do that? So that can be done using smart step into. I clicked I first put a line breakpoint here, then I run in debug mode. So currently the execution is paused here. Now if I click on step into, you will see that all the functions are highlighted now. Now which one I want to go? Let's say I want to go in get name. I will click this and now I am here. I'm inside get name. I have in this. Okay, if I want to go back, I will click step out. If I click step into again, it will again show me that in which inside which function you want to go. I want to go in get age. I will come in get age. If I click step out, my control execution will come here. So there are multiple function. If when there are multiple function in one line, and I want to go in a particular inside a particular function, then we use smart step into. Another thing we wanted to demonstrate was run to cursor. Okay, run to cursor button. So let's say like I have put a breakpoint here. Okay, and now I have run my code in debug mode. So program execution has paused here. Now if I want to see line number, let's say line number 68 without putting a breakpoint, so how will I go do this? What one thing I can do is I can put my cursor here, click it, and now there is a button that is run to cursor. I can click this, so you see the control has from this breakpoint directly come here to this point without putting a breakpoint. So this is run to cursor. This is the symbol that is run to cursor. Okay, so this is demonstrated. I will remove the breakpoint. Now fourth one, I will go to fourth exam demo. Okay, so fourth point, this is a good one. This is watch and evaluate expression. Okay, so watches, we have watches here and we can evaluate expression as well. So don't look at the commented code that I have done for a purpose. So this code is currently running. I will run this. You can see the output. Okay, now let's say if I put a breakpoint at this is a for loop. Okay, this is a person class. We this function is returning a list of person. I will show you what is inside a person class. We have name, age, and country. Okay, these three attributes are there. So if I come here, if I run this in debug mode, okay, now my control execution has paused here. Okay, now if I want to put watchers, there are two options how we can put. First is we can see this watcher tab from here. Okay, so if you are not getting this watcher tab, then there is another option how you can go. You can click on this. Maybe let's say I want to put watcher in this. Okay, I want to put some expression in this watcher. I can click here, do the right click. We can see add to watchers. I will go here. So watcher come here and it gave like person.list.getI. Now if I want to evaluate some expression, let's say person.list.getI dot get age greater than 30. Okay, if I do this, so if you see like it's getting true. If you see the zeroth, okay, we are at zeroth index. So zeroth index, whatever the person value, whatever, I will open this. So whatever is the person age, that is more than 30. So that's why we are getting true. I will resume my program. Have a look here. Okay, have a look like how this true and how this expression is getting calculated, and we are getting the values here. You see we get false this time, right? So it is the first object. If I open the first object here, the age of person is 20, so that's why we got false here. Okay, so I will now keep on running resume code. So you see again true, 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 false. So you can evaluate expression for a inside a for loop for all that. Okay, if I particularly want that, like I have done it for age, you can write your own expression. This expression will be in Java itself. You can write your own expression to do that. Another way to like if there is some complex expression given here and you want to do it in just like here, we can do multiple, like this is a for loop, so multiple times we can execute our expression. Another way is we can select this. Here we have evaluate expression. We can click here, and here we can write again, like let's say get age greater than 30, evaluate. So we got the value false for the current this is 0 1 first. This is the first index, so here we got false. So but with this evaluate we can do only one, like we can do only one evaluate per time. With this watcher we can do multiple if it is in a for loop. But this evaluate is also very helpful when like we have complex we want to do some complex expression, write some complex expression with our objects. So without writing in the code and writing printf, we can directly do in our IDE itself. So this is very handy for that. I will remove the breakpoint, and we were on the fourth point. Let's see the fifth. Okay. Okay, so in fifth, I will just show you like how we are seeing the variables when we are running in debug mode. Okay, nothing very fancy here. Let's say I put the debug mode here. Okay, and I click in run with debug mode. So you see there is one way we see the variables value is this inline. This will be called inline variable value. Okay, so inline we are seeing the values of the variables. Another way is in this debug tab, in the variables tab we can come, and in this person list we can click and see that okay, what all is the variable value. Okay, we can see for the map, for the list, for the arrays, anything key value here. And the third way is like let's say we have, where is the list, let's say we have this list, so we can get our cursor above this, and if we just hover over it, it will give us a pop-up. Okay, if we click this, we will get the values here as well. Okay, so if we have a very large code, like we have a very long code, and in between we want to check that, okay, what is the value that map is keeping, we can just hover over it, a pop-up will come, and in this pop-up we can click on plus button, and then we can see that which values we have here. Okay, so this one is also handy. Removing the breakpoint, moving forward, we were on the fifth point, moving to sixth, changing variable values in real time. Okay, so this is also something to know. Let's say I have put a breakpoint here and I have run this in debug mode. So I see that we see that I value is 100 here, and everywhere I value is 100. Now if I want to change this value without changing in making the change in code, I can come here, I can click this I from here, I can click set value, and from here I can, let's make it 500 or 5000. Okay, so you see in the code as well, the values will will update. Here you see that we were getting the values in this gray color, and when I hover over it, it becomes blue. That was the actual value, and this is the in yellowish orange color, that the number we are getting, that is the value that I have set from this debugger, not from actual code. So this comes in a different color. So this is also something good to know. Okay, moving to seventh point. Okay, this is an important one. Filtering arrays and collection in variables or watches. So this is quite good one. So uh, it might happen that, let's say, like you have a lot of in a list you have a lot of objects are there, but you want to see only some particular objects that you want to evaluate using some Java expression. Then you can do this using this step. So this is filtering arrays and collection. Okay, I will rerun this code again in debug mode. So at this breakpoint, we see these three values. This is a number array, this is a person list, and we see a map. Okay, if I click here, all this I see like 1000, this arrays of 10,000 values. Okay, I can put here right click, I can do filter, and with this filter I can use Java expression this let's say this value that is greater than 8 and this smaller than equal to 14. Okay, so you see all the array values like which were like giving a true for this expression, we can filter that here and we can then check them. Like this is just for array, so nothing fancy in this. But let's say we have a, I will drag this a bit up. We have a list. Okay, there are only 8 elements. Let's say there were 100 of them, so we can go here, we can go to filter, and here we can write this dot, let's say get age greater than 30. Okay, so you see we get all the data which were in we get all the objects in which the age variable is greater than 30. Okay, we can remove this by clicking right click and doing remove filter. Okay, same we can do with map as well. We can just click here, go to filter, we can write this dot get key equals, let's say there are only two keys, but let's say I write 2, so we got 2 here, right? So um, we have only so this will be quite handy. So good to know, like we can put filters in this variable sections as well. um, okay, I will move forward. I will remove this breakpoint. We were on, okay, we were on 7th. Okay, I will move forward with 8th one. Okay, this is conditional breakpoint. Okay, conditional breakpoint for this. For eighth one, I will comment this one and uncomment this one. Okay, now if I run this code, let's say I'm running this code, you see I'm getting an exception, like that is class cast exception. Now one way to find is I put a breakpoint here, and because this is a for loop, so again and again I will show you what I am saying. I will go to debug mode. It will pause here, then I will go to next. You see, like I need to go next, check every object to see that okay, on which object it is failing, okay, on which object it is failing, and throwing this class cast exception. Okay, currently I have printed this here, so that's why you can see that okay, three values are printed and fourth index we are getting this exception. But in real scenarios that won't be the case. Let's say I comment out this, and then if I do the run, we don't know, like we just know that okay, on this line we are getting, but which object is throwing. So for this we have conditional breakpoint. Now conditional breakpoint we can put, like let's say we know that okay, we are getting class cast exception. Okay, I will just give you this. You can just read it also, like why we uh, when do we put this. Mainly during iteration, like in for loop we want to find, then usually we put this conditional breakpoints. So how do we put that? We put a breakpoint here, we do a right click, we go on more. Now here we get a pop-up of different breakpoints, so skip this. We have a condition, we you see, like in this I have put a line breakpoint at line number 46. In this condition, click yes, and here you can write what was the code. Person, I can say not person list dot get I instance of person. Okay, I can write this, that where it is not a instance of person, I will do don't forget to put this click here, do done, and now I will run in debug mode. And now here what we see, it tell us the exact index at which our code is break, because we have put that condition that uh, give me that index, give me that object index on which like my code throws this exception. Okay, I can go here and I can see here okay, third index is this, and then I can see that okay, this is actually not an person object now, and just a string. So by this way, by putting this conditional operator, we can it can save our a lot of time when we are in a loop. I will just show you again how I have put this. Right click here, I can put from here as well, I can go on more as well and give a good conditional condition here. Okay, I will remove this for now. I will show you in an easier way as well. I will do done. Okay, I will remove this breakpoint. Now this was conditional breakpoint, but there is another way, that is exceptional breakpoint. Like this code throws an exception, right? So I can put an exceptional